Hello, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Humanatic Community Guidelines. So, how are you all doing today? I hope you're having a great day and a great Sunday. Welcome to this live stream. And Today, I would like us to talk about some of the challenges that people face on Humanatic. So, this is me availing myself to respond to any question or challenges that you might be facing on Humanatic in terms of reviewing calls or payment issues or anything at all that you have concerns with. Feel free to send me chats and I will do my best to respond to your um, questions. Okay. All right. So do to chat me up if you have any special concerns that you'd like to be addressed, and I can help you do that. Okay. By the way, the last time I talked about the device that I bought, which is the MTN 5G router, and here it is. Here it is. So this is the MTN 5G router. So basically, it comes with a power bank device. This is the power bank device. So let's say you're walking and you lose power, the light goes off. This device can retain energy for at least 2 to 3 hours before you can get your power issue sorted. Um, but it's always advisable that while making use of it, that you have it plugged. So in case if the battery runs down, so we can hold on for a while before it goes off. Okay, so um, the other time I also talked about the inbound category. So the inbound category is one of the most complex categories on Humanatic. The reason why it is the most complex is because it is the foundation of other categories. When I say foundation, it means when you get an account, when you get a Humanatic account, a fresh Humanatic account, the two categories you're basically to get first is the inbound and the outbound. That is like the summary of what the job is all about. So if you have call center experience, you would know what an inbound is and also what an outbound is. So inbounds are calls that you receive. Inbounds are the call that you receive, that you handle, while the outbound calls are the calls you make. You call customers, that's outbound. So that's the basic two categories you get when you get a fresh Humanatic account. The outbound is not too difficult because the option for the outbound only gives you about three options. The three options are just for you to identify if the call got connected to the right person, or a message was left, or did not get connected to the right person. So those are basically the three options that you have for the outbound category. So that's it. So when do you get to choose the first option? The first option is when a call gets connected to the intended person. By virtue of intended person, let's say an agent makes a phone call. An agent is calling the client, and the person who takes the call is the actual person that the agent wants to get you. And how can you confirm that? Of course, when an agent calls, you'd want to confirm the name of the person. I also work as a customer care. So when I call a customer, I try to identify the customer by the name. Hello, am I speaking to Mr. John? And once the person, the receiver confirms that yes, you are on to Mr. John, then it is the first option. It means the person got connected to the right person. In a few cases, the receiver might not want to answer, but if the agent goes ahead to introduce himself, hello, this is so person calling from so place, and it was clear that the agent introduced himself, it is also seen as connected. It's also seen as connected. Then for the second one, which is leaving a live message. So when the agent calls and the call does not get through to the intended person, but at the end of the day, it went to voicemail and the agent mail, left a voicemail. So that's leaving a message. Then also another scenario could be when the agent calls and someone else takes the call, but the person is not the intended person. For example, I'm trying to get to Mr. John, but when I called, it was Mr. John's wife that took the call. So then when Mr. John's wife took the call, Mr. John's wife said, "Oh, this is not Mr. John. I am Mr. John's wife, but I can let him know that you called." So that's still leaving a message. So a message is either left through voicemail or left with a live person. That's when you choose the second option. Then for the last option, not connected, it is when it's either number one or number two. It means the call never got connected to the intended person. So that is for outbound. Now, for the inbound is one of the most delicate categories in Humanatic because most people have lost the Humanatic account as a result of wrong reviews on the inbound category. On the inbound category. So for the inbound category, you have the first. I'm going to discuss just a few of them. So I'm just going to discuss generally what it means for a call to be connected and what it means for a call not to be connected. So in the inbound category, when you say a call is connected, it means when a client calls, a customer calls, and the agent who took the call was able to respond to all the questions, roughly all the questions of the customer. Let's say an agent calls, I want to buy a car. Oh, please, I would like to buy a car. Can you tell me more about this car? And the agent was able to explain, give the details of the car and everything. So um, the agent was able to handle most of the calls, then it is a connected call when the agent was able to handle, and it does not need for additional information by a different person, or the customer does not leave a message for another person to be passed on to another person. So the agent who handled the call was able to assist the customer with every information that they need on the call. Then it is handled. Then when a call is not handled. So basically, I'm just trying to explain to you what it means for a call to be handled and not handled. Although when you go to the inbound categories, there are about 8 options to be picked based on different scenarios. But generally, when you talk about a call being handled, it means when a customer calls in and the agent who took the call was able to explain, give details, was able to satisfy the customer with information needed on that call, then it means it was handled. Then when you talk about not being handled, it means the agent who took the call was not a qualified agent. For example, a customer calls and like, "Oh, please, I would like to get information about this product or services." And the agent says, "Oh, I'm afraid I'm not in the best position to assist you with these informations, but I can pass you to somebody else who can help you, or I can leave a message for somebody else who can give you this information." So when the agent leaves a message for somebody else, it means the agent was not a qualified person to handle that call. So these are basically the two scenarios we have in the inbound call: connected or handled and not handled. But these are not the only options. There are other scenarios like leaving a live message, a call getting disconnected, or different. When you go through the options, you see several options there. Others, um, wrong number, and other options. Leaving a live message, went to voicemail, a live message was left. Went to voicemail, a live message was not left, and not handled by a qualified agent, and so many other options like that. But basically, this is just at the surface level of what you need to understand by a call being handled. It means when the agent who took the call was able to give the client all the informations that they need at that time, then the call is handled. So you need to be very careful with this category because, as I said, it is the mother of all categories. Because on the inbound categories, you have So Humanatic is made up of different categories. The service, when you talk about service, it means people bringing their car to the service, oil change, looking into one or two things wrong with their vehicles and all that. That's the service department. Then there are other categories like the dealership, dealership sales visit. These are buying vehicles and the rest. So there are different categories under Humanatic. Um, but under the inbound categories, you have all these other categories in them. You also have the why calling category. This is about a healthcare center, people calling to book sections and all that. So all these categories, other categories, you still find them under the inbound. That is why I said it is the mother of all categories. So when you're able to master the inbound category, it helps you in understanding better other categories. And it's more like the inbound category is what avails other categories to you. So as a starter, when you start with the first two categories, which is the inbound and outbound, with time, other categories will be made available to you. Other categories like service, why calling, uh, dealership discussion, other categories will keep opening up for you as long as you perfect yourself in the inbound category. But trust me, Humanatic is not such a difficult thing as long as you understand the rudiments and and you know what you're supposed to do. It's more like an objective question. You know what answers to pick. And also, I understand sometimes, um, despite having those options, it can still get a bit confusing. When it gets too confusing. Although this is not the best advice, but it's I can recommend it to you to save your account. When you encounter calls that are extremely difficult, you don't know what to do about those calls. I would just advise for you to refresh. By refreshing, you can just click on the Humanatic icon on the left. It takes you back to the home page where you can select a different category to work on. It is safer for you that way rather than getting calls wrongly, because the more wrong calls you keep getting, the more you put your account at risk of losing it and also losing that particular category. And this is the best advice I can give anyone. So once you're working on a particular category and you've noticed that you've had about 5 errors, you've gotten like 5 errors on a day on one particular category. In fact, don't let it get to 5. Don't let it get to 5. If you've noticed you've gotten about three or 3 or 4 errors on one particular category, my best advice to you is just leave it and go to a different category. Leave it and go explore more categories. And also, exploration of more categories avails you to more categories. And this is the secret. Now, when Humanatic notices that you're stuck on one particular category, once you have errors on that category, you're most likely to lose it. Yes, you're most likely to lose it. So try to be flexible on how you work on Humanatic. So one of the most interesting categories that can gain you something is the dealership sales visit. That's the category that most people like to jump on, because sometimes it can get very easy, man. The calls can be very short and you just pick your answers very swiftly and make a whole lot of money within a short period of time. But you see, try to be careful when you do. Let's say you do 10 calls on that one, just try to go to a different category, shuffle them. Don't just stay glued on one particular category. You might end up losing that category. So this is my tip for you on how you can keep your Humanatic account and still make some few bucks on Humanatic. So just make sure you stay glued to this channel, Humanatic Community Guideline, for more updates, not just on Humanatic and other platforms that can help you make money. Other platforms where you can make money online. And also, I work for uh, a company as a customer care representative, and just stay glued to this channel. Maybe anytime the company will be recruiting, I'll definitely make it available here so people who wish to apply can apply. So this is me wishing you all the best, and stay focused, keep doing what you're doing. And also, if you still need a Humanatic account, you can still DM me. A lot of people DM me, but show signs of laxity and all that. Well, and but that's up to them anyways. So if you wish to get a Humanatic account, you can DM me. Also, if you wish to have a PayPal account, you need a PayPal account, a UK PayPal account, US PayPal account, you can also send me a DM. We can help you get that sorted. So thank you for watching, and Do have a fabulous Sunday. One person just joined. Oh, thank you for joining. I mean, maybe after when I post this video, you can go back and see all the things I've talked about on Humanatic. Thank you, and see you guys next time.